we had on Thursday evening this tweet from Zarah Sultana. Today, after 14 years, I'm resigning from the Labour Party. Jeremy Corbyn and I will co-lead the founding of a new party with other independent MPs, campaigners and activists across the country. Join us, the time is now. Following that tweet, the day after, Jeremy made a tweet, put out a tweet suggesting he was with this initiative and that we should go think about a new movement. And then last night there was an article in the Times. Text showed Team Corbyn opposed new party minutes after launch. A left-wing collective headed by Jeremy Corbyn wants to take on Labour, but can it? Its founders are already battling each other on WhatsApp. I'm not going to read that article. I put the link out in the email earlier. I can't be bothered to read it. But for me, this is something I was kind of warning about before, is this secrecy behind this thing. If it was all out in the open, we would never have had this trouble. The people who dislike what we believe in will go after us and find out our little WhatsApp groups. They'll infiltrate them. Whoever leaked those WhatsApp messages was obviously terrible in keeping the secrecy of what was going on. We can't live in secret. We have to be out in the open. And I just think this new party is so important. Now we've seen what's going on. This is now we need this party. We can't have the bickering and the infighting now. It's just not on. It's not on. I think we've got Ken Loach on the call, and I thought Ken might be able to talk some sense into what's going on here, because he must have seen this kind of thing before.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Very good.
Ken, I don't know if you've read this article, but it doesn't. It's not particularly something you really want to read, but it's out in the open. There's sort of infighting between parties within this party already. It's not even really been started. What do you think we can do? Can you talk some sense into this?
Well, I mean, I grew. My political initiation was at the time of sectarianism, so this is as old as the hills. It's I haven't read the Times piece. I didn't know about it. I'm still reeling from the piece of film you showed of the boy, and if I crack up, I'm sorry about that. Well, I can only talk about what I know. I think Zarah Sultana is a very impressive young woman. I think if she and Jeremy were able to stand together and say, we need the party and it's urgent, I think that would be a brilliant catalyst, because I think both have huge respect. And I think then the process can begin. And I think the process needs to be urgent, but I think it also needs to be democratic and, as you say, not secretive, because we cannot be both democratic and secretive. Mm-hmm. And the danger is there are cliques each with their own ego involved, or the people dangerously pursuing their own interests or their own position, and that's death. It has to be open, has to be democratic, and I can make a suggestion if you like, Crispin. Well, I think it's in the process. How do we ensure that? Democratic, principled, so we all know what we're standing for, and united, or the vast majority united. And we value and we stand by Jeremy and Zarah, and they would have to be central to the organisation. And what I suggest is that in order to do this, we'll have to have, in the end, a delegate conference of everyone involved across the country to take the key decisions, or to put a democratic process in place. How do you get that delegate conference? I think we need regional meetings in the first instance, say 10 or 12 across the country, where all interested groups, all individuals can either join or join in groups or send one or two, or we find a way in which everyone can attend or be represented. And at those meetings, then say there are 10 of them, 12 of them, there are 20 delegates, around about 20. I mean, if it's a huge meeting, a big area, more. If it's just a small area, less, fewer. But I think something on those lines, organised by, and there are some good organisers involved at the moment, I know, and good organisers who can do it in good faith and in the open, and not including all the campaigns and groups who, in good faith, are prepared to engage in this, and the individuals who have also signed.
Yeah.
And
I mean, can I just say about this thing about the secrecy that you kind of agree on it? I mean, we can't be secretive when they've got all these people who can infiltrate, who can come in and screenshot all our messages and stuff like that. If we're out in the open, we've got nothing to be ashamed of, have we? We've got the right ideas. We shouldn't be plotting, and that we're just going down Starmer's road if we do all that kind of thing, aren't we?
yes, it's fatal, because everyone will walk away, and quite rightly, because it's people trying to stitch it up. And I think, yes, I mean, I don't know the modern media so well as you do, but I think in the end, if we are open, if everyone, then in a way, all conferences have that danger, people will infiltrate and try and steer it towards different kinds of unacceptable behavior, or cliques, or pre-arranging the vote, or whatever. And we've got to, if our numbers are big enough, then we can overcome that. People, the sectarians and the manipulators thrive in secrecy. You're right. The key thing is not to rush it. We're planning here for decades, and we have to set up something that will work, and people can have confidence in and know that they are not discounted. And it is genuinely democratic, with all the tests that Tony Benn set for. How can we? Where do you get your authority? How long are you there for? How can we get rid of you? And all those other tests Tony put in place. And I think they're very good. And we have to abide by those. And we have to. The principles should be a small group of real principles. And I go back to clause 4 of the Labour Party, and standing by international law. And I think Jackie was so right earlier on when she said, we are now the people who stand for the rule of law, for the universality of human rights, for the Geneva Conventions, for the Genocide Conventions, which is the legal obligation of our governments to prevent genocide, not watch it and then wait for a definition. All that. We are the people who stand for that now. So those are our principles. Principles have to be enunciated, and we have to elect a leadership, and then we have to be prepared. And this is key, Crispin. We need to be prepared for when they come for us, and they will come for us. They will the straight questions we'll be fighting on their territory. The questions we will get, for example, how are you going to pay for what you want to do? Are you going to let this island be flooded by immigrants? How are you going to defend us if you walk away from NATO? How are you going to defend us in this dangerous world? All their questions on their territory. And we have to be prepared for that. And we have to know what we're going to do when they come for us, when they destabilize the economy, when they smear us with racism. And we have to have experts and professionals in all these areas, particularly economists. If we have to decide, are we finally going to rid ourselves of the contradiction of the heart of Labour? What economy will we work for? And I think that's to say where the old clause 4 is valuable. Public ownership, common ownership, democratic control, planned economy. And because without that is when John and Jackie were talking about the United, that is the enemy. It is that the corporate power that is at the heart of all our conflicts. And so we have to build a new economy, and building a new economy will mean we are right in the front line of the class struggle. and they will come for us. So, I mean, we've got to be prepared for all that if we really want to make change.
Well, thank you, Ken. Look, I mean, look, I'm just thinking we've got to get something off the ground before we can even get to where you are. But
But I think that's essential at the beginning, to get it off the ground at the beginning. We don't want to fudge that. And that's why it's a process. And I think if Zarah and Jeremy are with us, that is the catalyst to make it start. That's the catalyst to make people behave.
yeah,
And
right.
respect them and then proceed. But Jackie was right. This is a historic moment. This is a historic moment. And that little boy who cracked me up, that's her motive.
Yeah. Well, look, thank you so much for coming on. It's great to see you again. And we'll try and sort this out today. We'll get it all sorted. Don't worry, Ken.
Okay.
Cheers.
And say hello to your dad for me.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Ken. Cheers.